Welcome back to the deep dive. We are on episode 7 of our journey through Chris Tanzi's Scaling Digital Capital.
That's right.
And today we're wrapping up part 3, the infrastructure section. We're talking about maybe the biggest piece of infrastructure of all, the organization itself.
Yeah, absolutely. We've spent the last, 6 episodes building all the pieces. We've got the financial foundation. We've got our synthetic workers,
Yeah.
the builders, the researchers.
Right. And the data and communication system.
Exactly. So all the components are on the table. But now we hit the really critical question. Who actually manages all of this? How do humans and AI really work together in a structured way?
And the book opens this chapter with a line that is, well, it's a bit of a gut punch. It just says, your org chart is lying to you.
It's such a great hook because it's true.
It is.
It's this profound structural lie. You pull up a standard corporate org chart, and what do you see? A 1990s hierarchy. Humans reporting to humans, teams in neat little boxes.
It's clean, it's tidy, and it's totally obsolete.
Completely. Because the reality is that half of the work, maybe more, is being done by invisible software that isn't on that chart anywhere.
We're talking about the coding agent handling pull requests, or the research agent that's pulling together market reports.
Or the support bot that's handling 60% of your customer tickets. These are productive members of the team, but they're ghosts in the machine, organizationally speaking.
And the book is really clear here. It says AI isn't just a tool anymore. It's not something you just pick up out of a drawer. It's crossed a threshold.
It's a coworker.
It's a coworker. And if it's a coworker doing critical work, it needs a role, it needs accountability, it needs a spot on that org chart, or you can't possibly govern it.
That idea of a threshold is so important. Let's just quickly walk through the 4 stages the book lays out, because it explains why this is a problem we have to solve now.
Okay.
So first, we had stage 1, AI tools. Think like 2015 to 2020. This is your basic spell check. Simple automations. The human did almost all the work.
Then came the big LLM breakthroughs, and that brought us to stage 2, AI assistance. So this is 2020 to, say, 2023. This is ChatGPT, GitHub Copilot.
All right, sophisticated help, but you're still the one driving. You're giving every single instruction.
And now we're in stage 3, AI agents. This is where we are today, from 2023 into 2025.
And this is the huge functional leap. The agent can complete tasks on its own with just high-level direction. It doesn't just write a paragraph. It can write the whole document. It can execute a mission.
Which brings us to where we're headed, stage 4, AI coworkers for 2025 and beyond. So what's the difference? What makes an agent a coworker? Is it just that it's smarter?
It's not just about capability. It's about integration depth. It's about the relationship.
Okay.
A coworker is fully embedded. It attends meetings, meaning it takes in messy human conversation and gives back structured output. It passes work to other agents. Its decisions actually affect business outcomes.
So it's about influence. If an AI's code breaks the app or its analysis changes your pricing strategy, that's no longer a tool. It has a role. It has accountability.
Exactly. And check this out. There's a stunning stat from MIT and BCG. They found that in just 3 years, people expect AI will be able to do 46% of their job tasks.
46%. Almost half.
Almost half the work in your organization could be done by synthetic workers. So trying to manage that with a 1990s org chart, you're just asking for chaos.
So if nearly half the workforce is synthetic, you have to evolve the human roles. The old job titles just won't work. Let's start with the managers. The book calls them M-shaped supervisors.
Yeah, the M-shape. This is the big idea for leadership. So remember, old school managers were I-shaped deep expertise in one thing.
Right. Then we got T-shaped, which was deep expertise plus some broad collaborative skill.
The M-shape is the next evolution. It's about having moderate depth in multiple areas, enough to orchestrate this new mixed workforce. Their whole job is orchestration.
Okay, but I have to ask, doesn't being a generalist having only moderate depth kind of undermine what makes a good manager? Aren't they supposed to be the expert?
That's a great question, and the book tackles it directly. The M-shaped supervisor isn't supposed to be the best coder and the best marketer.
Okay.
They just need enough fluency to know what an agent can do, what its limits are, and frankly, when it's messing up. The job isn't doing the work anymore, it's allocating it intelligently.
So their real value is managing what the book calls the seams.
The seams, exactly, the handoffs, where a human task ends and an AI task begins. They manage the performance of both humans and agents, and they have to use totally different metrics for each.
So marketing director manages the human copywriters, but also the AI content generator, the SEO agent.
And they need enough depth in all those areas to know when the human touch is essential versus when the AI just needs a better prompt.
Okay, that makes sense. Then you have the opposite of that, the T-shaped experts, the specialists.
Precisely. Their value just skyrockets because they are focused 100% on what agents can't do.
Like novel problem-solving, really ambiguous situations.
Creative leaps, security-critical decisions. Their deep expertise is what's used to design the complex workflows that the agents then go and execute.
And I think the most important job for that T-shaped expert is knowing when the agent is wrong.
Yes.
You know, the senior lawyer who uses an AI to scan contracts, but they're the only one who can spot some brand new geopolitical risk the model has never seen before.
It's judgment. It's context. It's operating outside the training data. The AI gives them scale, but the human provides that irreplaceable final call.
And that leaves the biggest group of all, the AI augmented frontline, the amplified workers.
Yeah, and this is maybe the most optimistic part of the whole framework. The argument is that AI doesn't just destroy these jobs, it shifts the value.
How so?
Their productivity gets multiplied because the AI takes all the boring, repetitive stuff. It frees up the human to focus on high-value work things that need empathy, judgment, real connection.
So the developer stops writing boilerplate code and focuses on system architecture.
And the customer service rep stops answering password reset questions and deals with the really complex, high-stakes customer problems. The work moves to where human intelligence is the bottleneck.
Okay, so we have new roles: M-shaped orchestrators, T-shaped specialists, and the augmented frontline. But how do you stop them from just getting stuck in the same old corporate silos?
You don't. You get rid of the silos. You implement what the book calls the pod principle.
The pod principle. This is the core structural change.
It is. Think of it like a small construction crew framing a house. You don't send 100 people. You send a small, cross-functional crew that knows exactly what its mission is. A pod is that, but for digital work.
Let's break down the template for a pod, because this feels really actionable.
It is. Every pod has 4 parts. First, the lead. 1 or 2 humans, usually those M-shaped supervisors who own the mission's success.
Okay.
Second, specialists. These are your T-shaped experts who get pulled in when needed. Security, legal, that kind of thing.
And third, the really new part, the synthetic workers.
Yep. These are the agents with defined jobs inside the pod. The coding agent, the research agent, maybe a generalist agent just for coordinating the others.
And the final piece, which seems critical, is the mission.
It's everything. And it has to be super clear and measurable. Not improve marketing, but reduce campaign launch time from 3 weeks to 1 week. That clarity is what lets the pod run on its own.
Can we walk through a concrete example, like a product development pod?
Sure. The human lead would be the product manager, who is M-shaped. The T-shaped specialist is your senior engineer who knows the architecture inside and out.
And the synthetic workers?
Could be a builder agent that writes 80% of the code and a QA agent that generates and runs all the tests. And their mission is simple. Ship this feature in under a week.
Okay, I see how that works. Or a customer success pod, you've got the manager as the lead, and then a support agent and an analytics agent.
Whose mission is to retain your top accounts. You scale by adding more pods, not by making the old ones bigger and slower.
But a structure like that needs a ton of discipline to work. It can't be a free-for-all.
Which is why the book introduces the management philosophy behind it all, the Contractor Protocol.
I love this idea. Treat every single AI agent as if it were a human contractor with full production access.
It's such a powerful mental model because you'd never just hand a stranger the keys to your entire system without some serious guardrails. Right?
That's not.
The risk with an agent is 1,000 times higher because it can scale a mistake instantly. So the discipline has to be higher too.
So let's talk about that discipline, starting with onboarding.
For a human, you give them a laptop and a briefing. For an agent, you have to do mandatory context loading. That's its system prompts, its knowledge base, and meticulous permission granting. It needs to know its exact boundaries.
And that flows into ongoing management. You can't just ask an agent how its day is going.
No, you manage it by the numbers. You're looking at metrics, dashboards, error rates, intervention rates. That's a key one, how often a human has to step in and fix something.
So you're constantly refining prompts, managing model updates. It's like performance coaching, but for software.
Exactly. And finally, there's offboarding. This is the step everyone forgets with software. Agents don't quit, but they do get retired or replaced.
And you can't just leave it running in the background.
No. That's a huge security risk and a financial black hole. You have to have a deliberate process, revoke all its access credentials, update all the documentation. It has to be a clean break.
This rigor is how you apply those decision tiers we talked about before. But inside the pod, who decides what?
Right. It's a three-tier system. Tier 1 is low-risk stuff. The AI decides on its own. Things like scheduling or categorizing emails. Humans just do spot checks.
Tier 2, medium risk. This is where the real leverage is. The AI decides, but it has to flag its decision for a human to review.
Think content drafts or standard customer responses. The M-shaped supervisor reviews them, and over time, as the agent proves itself, maybe the review frequency goes down.
And Tier 3 is high risk. The AI only gets to recommend. The human makes the final call.
This is for security exceptions, big financial commitments, anything legally or financially binding. The T-shaped expert uses the AI for speed, but they own the decision. It's speed without sacrificing judgment.
And that whole structure, the pods, the protocols, the tiers, that's what creates the actual competitive advantage.
And this is the single most important sentence in the chapter. The book says, competitive benefits will come not from early access to the technology, but from superior organizational design around it.
That's huge, because it means the tech itself is becoming a commodity.
It is. Everyone is going to have access to powerful models and agents. The differentiator isn't who bought the lumber first. It's who has the better architectural blueprint.
So companies that are just throwing new AI tools at their old, broken org chart are actually just building faster chaos.
They're building chaos. The winners will be the ones who do the hard work of redesigning the organization first. The org structure is the technology.
So let's synthesize this for everyone listening. Principle 1. AI agents are coworkers, not tools. They need roles and accountability.
Principle 2. Treat every agent like a contractor with production access. That means rigorous discipline for onboarding, management, and especially offboarding.
And third, and most important, your real competitive advantage comes from org design, not from just having the latest AI model.
Stop chasing the shiny new tech and start engineering the human AI blueprint. That's where the value is.
Okay, so we've spent 7 deep dives building this whole thing. We have the foundation, the synthetic workers, and now the org chart to put them in. But a workforce costs money. It has an ROI.
Right. We have the organization, but we need the operating system to actually run it, to measure it.
And that's the perfect bridge. Next time, we finally move to part 4, the operating system. And we're going to start with the economics of intelligence.
Probably the toughest question of all. What do these synthetic workers actually cost? How do you measure their productivity? What's the real economic value of an invisible coworker?
A great question to end on. How much is your synthetic coworker actually worth? We will get into that next time.
See you then.